In today's video, my training, nutrition, cardio, and supplementation plan for the next 90 days as I make this transformation. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, instead of answering one of your questions, I'm going to actually go over my plan for this next 90 days where I'm entering my own transformation challenge. Now, for years, I've wanted to do a transformation challenge as a way to kind of inspire and, uplift people. And so it's happening. Basically, the entries ended on Sunday and it started on Monday. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been gathering myself to do this. For anyone that's not aware, I am a competitive bodybuilder. Last competing in 2018, first time I ever competed was 2008. And during that time, I've done a lot of things, such as start a business, which is ProPhysique, where we have 11 coaches and 15 total employees doing all kinds of things related and to health and fitness. And my goal here with the Transformation Challenge was to just give people a reason to get excited about this next 90 days and create a community and a platform for them to. And so far it's been going really well. I have my staff managing all aspects of it. All I'm doing is kind of providing support. And so a lot of the people have been asking me, what am I going to do for training and nutrition? So I'm going to put all of that below in the description box, point blank. I'm going to put I'm going to put my current workout routine. I'm going to put my current supplement routine, my current cardio routine. And I want to talk a little bit about why I'm doing what I'm doing and how I got there. The last time I competed was in 2018. And as much as I'd love to tell you that, I'm hardcore and I stay shredded all the time, I'll be honest. I enjoy life and I have way too many margaritas sometimes, and sometimes I eat way too much pizza. But I really believe in the harmony that is enjoying life. And so sometimes with that, my training isn't perfect, my diet isn't perfect, but I place a lot of value on things other than being in perfect shape all the time. And to be honest, at 230 pounds, I'm pretty happy with how I look and feel, on a daily basis. Yes, I'd love to be leaner. Yes, I'd love to be stronger, but there's always time for that. Well, this is that time. I'm not going to be stepping on a bodybuilding stage this year, but the idea of committing myself to this 12 weeks essentially really got me fired up. When I started, putting plans together and how I was going to execute it, it got me motivated, and that reminded me why I love the bodybuilding stage so much. And that's why I do it, is because when you set a goal like that and it gives you a deadline, you start to put things into action. You stop making excuses and you stop putting other people before you, and you start planning ahead. And that's really what this transformation challenge is about. So I want to talk a little bit about my diet. I basically decided to start my diet at 2,500 calories, right around 230 to 250 protein, 250 carbs, and 70 grams of fat. And I got those numbers basically by tracking. I'm using an app this year called Fat Secret. Never used it before, but I downloaded it. It's free, and it's been a nice tool. I've used MyFitnessPal in the past and some other ones, but I wanted to try something different this year because I wanted to go through the same kind of steps and struggles so I could explain my process. But essentially what I'm doing there is I entered my food for a couple of weeks to kind of get a calorie average of where I was at, and excluding alcohol, which, I've been having a few drinks on the weekends and enjoying myself. And the most challenging aspect for me with diet is actually my children, because they're always eating. They're always leaving snacks laying around. They always want to share their food with me. And in 2018, basically what I did was I left room for that. I left room, so I made sure if my child offered me something, I would accept it. But the difficulty now is that I'm basically like the Hoover vacuum in my house. If my kids eat a half a Pop-Tart, I eat the second half. If they leave some food out, I tend to eat it. So I just have to not do that. And I've literally the last 2 days been reaching for something and thought, okay, don't eat that. So, let that be a lesson. It's just about changing your habits and your routine. And it's a simple shift of the mindset. Within a day or two, I won't even think about eating any of those things anymore. And especially with this quarantine situation, my entire kind of fitness approach is going to have been thrown off. I'm now training full-time at home. Luckily enough, I built a home gym a while back. It's been a couple years now that I've had a home gym, though I barely ever used it. So now I'll be training in there. The real difference with that is that I'm planning ahead now. I make sure I have my foods for the next day, Part of that is actually using Icon Meals. So if you go to iconmeals.com, and yes, they do sponsor me, so I get those meals for free. But if you use Icon Meals, you can basically go on their website, select foods that fit your dietary needs. You can even just select bulk foods like steak or chicken or rice or potatoes or something like this. Or you can just buy the meals as they come. They ship, they go right to your door, still frozen in these really cool containers. And you just heat them up for 2 minutes. And I find the most difficult part for me with being consistent on my diet is having that food planned ahead of time, because if I wait till I'm hungry, the option of going inside and cooking does not sound as good to me as the option of driving through, going getting some Chipotle, going to get a Jersey Mike's sub, which is they're both very close to my house. And that oftentimes isn't going to be as accurate. Whereas when I have something at the house, I just simply go inside, heat it up, and I come back to my office and work. And it really just causes me a lot less stress. I don't have to think about the food. Now for training, the current split that I'm gonna start with is a push-pull legs, push-pull legs. Okay, so I'm gonna repeat that through. And the second time through, I'm gonna have just an arm day. Because on a push day, I'll typically do a lot of chest, a lot of shoulders, and I'll finish with some tricep work. But I don't get really the same intensity of tricep work that I would on an arm only day, okay? And then similar to that, on a back day or a pull day, I'll do back and traps, and I'll do a couple sets of biceps. But by the time I get to biceps, I'm pretty fatigued. So that's why I like to, every 2 times through, have a arm day. It's also like a nice extra deload day, because when you're doing just biceps and triceps, it's not very intense, it's not very hard on you. And I actually just walked out of the gym, so I'll be including some of that footage in here. And then finally, I'll have a leg day, a lower body day. I have some excellent leg equipment here. I have a squat rack, I have deadlift platform. I actually have a glute ham raise, and I have all the barbells and stuff and a leg press. So I can get a really good workout. My current favorite leg movement is a single leg split squat. I'm getting very strong at those, and it feels very good on my knees and joints. And at 44 years old, part of this process for me is about staying consistent with the workouts, and that really requires that you stay healthy and not get hurt through this process. Okay, so I'll put the workouts below so you can kind of follow along with what I'm doing. And that leads us to cardio. So what do I do for cardio? Well, right now, for me to get a lot of my stuff done, I had to switch my schedule. So now I actually get up at 5 a.m. I come into my gym, literally just roll out of bed, put on a pair of shoes, get on the treadmill, throw on some Netflix, and I'm walking on an incline at a speed of 3 to 3.3, depending on how I feel that day, incline around 7, okay? And as we progress through this, what I'm gonna do is probably increase the time. I might add a second session after my midday workout. I might add a session before I go to bed. It just depends on how my schedule is shaping up, but I'm starting with 30 minutes a day. And I'll honestly probably do 7 days a week, because even on the weekends, I still wake up at 5 a.m. It's just something that I consistently do. Even if I try to sleep in, my brain just pops up. And I'm not gonna really be drinking alcohol during this process. I'm really gonna make an effort for these 90 days to really give it a go. Because as you'll see here, I'll post some video of my physique at this current point. And although I'm very happy with where I'm at, it's not really something that I'm super proud of. I'm not like, hey, look at this physique, it's amazing. I can probably post some video in here of how I've looked in the past, and getting lean for bodybuilding shows and really putting all my effort into nutrition and training and being 100%. I haven't been that lately. And that's why I'm excited about doing this, because I really want to see how much I can change in 90 days. I actually measured my waist at just, I think, 39.5 inches, which at 6'3" and 230 pounds, listen, I'm not super happy with that. But I can also, in the past I've measured it as low down as 29 when I've gotten on stage, and I don't know if I can post some video of that in here for you, but my waist actually gets quite tiny, and I carry all my body fat. I mean, in my lower abdomen and in my love handles, and that is really where it's at. And so you'll see my limbs, my shoulders, my neck for the most part, my legs, I still have a quad separation. I still can, if I do a side pose, I can still see a glute striation, but it all loves to hang out in my love handle and lower abdomen area. So I think what's gonna really happen these first couple of weeks is that waist measurement's gonna come way down. Now let's talk a little bit about the supplement protocol that I'll be using. So I have my supplements from Core Nutritionals. Actually, I just got this shirt today. I'll show you an unboxing of all the supplements I'm gonna use. I'm gonna stick to the basics. I love to have my pre-workout and my branched chain amino acids right before I train. And then I'll have branched chain amino acids throughout the day, between meals with some water. I tend to eat usually only about 3 meals, sometimes 4 a day. So I go a long time between meals, and I love to have that drink. between my meals. So then I'm gonna use, you know, old man stuff. I got the Flex, which is their joint supplement. I also use their multivitamin. You know, gotta stay healthy, especially during these times. The two products that are probably the most recent that I use are Corbolic, which is the anabolic, it's a Brasino steroid, laxogenin in it, and that's the new product that I've been using. Last time I used it, I really felt like a little boost to my strength, and I tried to isolate it and only use that. So that's an exciting one. Then Core Alpha, which is a hormone optimizer. Now, all these things, I'm a drug-free natural bodybuilder. All these supplements are WADA approved, you know, so I do compete in natural bodybuilding organizations as well as the NPC. So for me, that's just an important part of this journey. And so I use Core Alpha and Corbolic for that purpose. And then probably my favorite supplement in the world right now is called Core Hard. That is the anti-cortisol, you know, hormone regulator for what I consider for females, because it's got DIM and ashwagandha or KSM 66 in it. And it's just an overall fantastic product. It's probably one of my favorite products for my competitors to use, especially those that are kind of type A, high anxiety. I really feel like it improves recovery. The newest product that Core came out with is their greens, and I've never used a greens product before, and I've been using it for a couple days since it came out. And interestingly enough, I always thought a greens product had like a bad taste to it and you had to mix it. You know, that's just my lack of knowledge, but basically what they've done is it's flavored, and so I just pour it in the water and drink it, and I've actually noticed a little bit more regularity, if you know what I mean. Now, you're probably saying, well, what about protein powder, Paul? Do you use that? Well, I've had for a few years now a problem with whey proteins. I'm okay eating some cheeses, but I just noticed that even isolates, any whey protein really messes with my stomach, okay? It's not pretty, and so I've just kind of given up on that. But what's really cool is that Core has actually created its own series of products based on my needs. So I'll be coming out with my own vegan protein here in June. And I've been testing out vegan protein powders for Core. They taste fantastic. So I'm excited to add that to my line, just because sometimes for me, it's not so easy to get all the protein I need. I have a lot of little hacks that I use. I use, you know, some like beef jerky sticks. Sometimes I just add deli meat to a meal. There's little ways that you can, you know, boost up the protein, egg whites, things like that, that are really helpful. So I think my goal overall is to lose more than a pound per week during this process. So, you know, being that I weighed in right around 230 pounds, what I'd like to do by the end of this is be right around maybe 215. 215 for me is a really good weight. And if I get some really good progress early on, I may shoot for say 210. I usually get on stage around 200 pounds. So I don't want to get quite that shredded. I don't want to get to the place where I'm about to walk on stage, because that final 10 pounds is, you know, when I go from say 7 or 8% body fat to like that 5% range, that's really, really hard on me. I'd like to get to that, you know, 8, 9, 10% body fat range where I still feel good. I still have some aesthetic shape, but I also have plenty of strength. And yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna diet until I feel I need a refeed. I'm not gonna right now add in any refeed days. I'll keep you guys updated on this. I'd like to, you know, give me some feedback on, you know, should I do a weekly update, maybe once a month? I'd be curious to know what you guys like to see. I don't know if every week would be worthwhile seeing the changes, but I think, you know, maybe I'll do an update every time I drop 5 pounds. That would be a significant, you know, visual difference, and I can give you some feedback. I will at some point get rid of this beard. I kind of vowed to wear this until the end of May. Me and my buddy Steven have a little bet going on who has the best beard. All right, guys, so for me, that's it. That's a little look into how I'm starting this process at 230 pounds, 44 years old, and I'm 6 foot 3 inches tall. So, you know, it's gonna be a fun journey. I've actually gotten inspired and excited by the people that are entering this competition. I've been in the message board. We have a private group, and I did a video with them yesterday, and just hearing people's reasons and excitement, it got me excited. And that's really, it reminded me about the first time I ever did a bodybuilding show, and sharing that journey, it starts to build its own momentum because you're talking with other people that are like-minded. So if anybody out there is looking for the next 90 days to make a transformation and you didn't join the challenge, hey, join it right here. You know, hang out with us and let's make some progress, all right? Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. Hit subscribe if you like this kind of content, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.